So about 14 months ago, when I went to Kelowna to be with my mom, and it turned out that I was going to have to stay there because she was obviously, this was the end for her, and I knew that I wasn't going to be coming back here to Winnipeg for quite a while. I realized that I'm going to need some supplies, and one of those supplies was socks. So I went to the store and I bought a package of 6 socks. And I really liked them. They're kind of stretchy. They're not tube socks, but they are almost as good as support stockings. And I'm getting to that age where that's kind of makes my feet feel kind of happy. So anyway, 14 months down the road, well, I think there was 6 in the package, and I've only got maybe, of the 12 socks, maybe only 2 left that don't have holes where the heels are. So I'm looking at one of these socks this morning that's got a hole in it about this big, and I'm thinking, do I put it on or what do I do here? And I'm stretching it this way and that way, and I thought, what would happen if you put your sock on upside down? Well, the hole is going to be at the top of your ankle, where it's all scrunched up together and you can't see it anyway. And I thought, well, this isn't going to be comfortable, but I'll try it anyway. So I pulled it on. Well, this doesn't feel so bad at all. So I'm probably good for another year with these socks. I thought I was going to have to go to the store and buy a new bunch of socks. Anyway, am I smart or what? Well, anyway, this is sort of a lead-in to let you know I'm not so smart. And 2 reasons. First of all, got a comment yesterday from one of the viewers, and he says, you're worried about, bending your specialty tool here on the glass. So why don't you use plexiglass? Well, right over here within arm's reach, plexiglass. Yeah. As Goofy would say, oh, never thought of that. Anyway, the other reason you're going to know I'm not all that smart is I'm going to have to put my macro lens on to show you here and bring you in a little closer. So we'll just do that. Yeah, here's another reason that sort of indicates why I may not be the brightest light bulb in the living room here. I went to remove my little part here. I guess I must have overdone it with the CA glue here. I hope I'm not going to end up breaking it now trying to get it out of there. Guess the best thing to do is just sort of prop it open and yeah. Got it. Here's one that wasn't broken. And here's our broken one. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount one of the good ones on the side here as it's supposed to go. Because I'm pretty sure that where that little glob of CA glue, it's going to affect the way it mounts on. But I was thinking afterwards that possibly what I could have done would have been to have glued the 2 broken pieces on separately as they're supposed to go. I think I can see now where that could have worked. Well, it's too late now. Anyway, we had the fun of gluing them together yesterday, right? Okay, now I think the best way to have this is have it adjusted so that this is horizontal, or flat rather, and then take the gun and lay it down, and it's not going to want to fall off. See, I think it's supposed to go with the, put this down again, like that. Okay, as near as I can tell, it's supposed to go on something like this. And then the broken one can be at the bottom. Now, how bad is that going to look? I think if I get it so that the barrels are straight, put a little drop of extra thin on there. I'll get it yet, don't worry. I can always edit out these dead spots, I guess. Okay, we're getting closer. Okay, I'm thinking that I better just do them individually. And there's a real good reason why. Okay, so that one's in place. And after all the work yesterday yeah, I broke it. So I think what I'll do is I'll glue these in and then see if I can glue this separately somehow. What a waste of time yesterday. But hey, I had nothing else to do anyway, right? This is what I should have done in the first place, instead of fooling around with the CA glue. And yeah. Don't know if I'll be able to do this on camera or not. Let's put a little drop of thin right there just to hold it in place there. It'll solidify the plastic and... Okay. Here we go. Well, there'll be lots. Once that dries or evaporates, it'll just all weld together. Those won't be coming out of there. As I was editing out these last few clumsy and way too long scenes, I said to myself, how many viewers do you think you're going to have left if you keep this up? Well, myself said, I'll probably have Billy. He'll stay with me because he's going to want to see, do I actually use his plexiglass idea? Okay. There, I add a little bit here. It's a little bit too long, but I can always snip a tiny bit off. Okay, we'll let that plastic melt, and then when it solidifies, it should be pretty strong. Now, I realize that we haven't finished the first gun. There's some little parts that have to go on here, the K34s. They have to drop down on the top of the platform. But I'm starting on the second one here. Oh, by the way, these other guns, they went on real fast. And I just laid them on and put a drop of extra thin, and right now the extra thin is curing. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about here is these pieces right here, K51 and K52. And they look like mirror images of each other, but they're really not. There's a little unique feature that I didn't mention. I'm going to flip them over here and show you what I was talking about. Okay, notice on the back here, there's this thing here that goes through the hole in the side. Now, what's unique about this is that Trumpeter very thoughtfully went to the trouble of having it keyed so that, excuse me, so that when these pieces went up together, and this one went up into here, and this one went up onto this side, notice how the this little pin here is keyed so that they can't be put together the wrong way. Unless, of course, you were to use a whole bunch of extra thin and the plastic just sort of dissolved away. But it actually worked. I noticed when I was putting this one together that it actually worked. Obviously, I've glued them in place here. And I wanted to point out that if you want to, you can choose to have them so that they're sort of swiveled up so that the guns are more pointed into the sky, which is the way an anti-aircraft gun would normally be, at least when it's, active. However, I imagine that when the ship was just cruising along, they probably were horizontal. I would think that you would try to have everything on your ship at the lowest center of gravity as possible to, prevent roll of the ship. At least it makes sense to me. I've never read that, and I never heard that, but I mean, it's like, let's say you're paddling a canoe. You don't have all your gear way up high, so it's top heavy. You have everything as low as possible. Well, if the barrels are lower, I know it's a minute thing in the scheme of things, just one set of barrels like this. But if every gun was as low as possible, the ship would have less of a tendency to roll from side to side. Makes sense to me, anyway. As I was editing out this last scene here, I was listening to myself, and I realized that the statement I made was sort of flawed in a way. It was partially correct. Yes, you want to keep your center of balance as low as possible on the ship. However, maybe the guns are designed in such a way that the pivot point is centrally located. In other words, it takes no effort to raise or lower the gun. And in that case, it wouldn't make any difference if the gun was up or down. Yeah. We now have the K-34s, and I'm not sure, but maybe they are supposed to represent little boxes of ammo. The idea is that this piece is supposed to get mounted right there on this forward part of the platform. Yeah. Let's try a dry run. You'll notice how these things are kind of angled a little bit so that whatever those are supposed to represent, maybe it's supposed to represent a box of ammo, I don't know. Anyway, it's supposed to be sort of cantered out this way. Okay, it's supposed to go on something like that. Only a little more centered. Now, I'm holding this so that the camera can see it. This is only a dry run. I think when I actually do it, I'm going to do it off camera and I'll show you the results. Okay, I've repositioned everything. Maybe we can do one on camera. I've got a different pair of tweezers here. I think I can possibly pick this up better. Okay. I'm going to put a drop of extra thin on the top of the platform. And before that evaporates, we're going to try. Oh, I twisted it. Okay, I think it has to come forward just a little. Okay, does that look straight? Check my monitor. Oh, it's not too bad. Now, I hope you'll believe me here when I tell you that the other three actually went on quite well. Okay, let's not be leaving these out now where they're going to have something set on them and squashed. Wouldn't be the first time something like that happened. Okay, now the other gun. Okay, we got K-55. K56, and our itty bitty piece K33. But where's K40? You know what? I think I'm going to have to dig out the K sprue. Yepers, there they are, K40s. Now when I have my magnification hood on and I'm removing this extra sprue and flashing and what have you that's on the parts, you can't help but notice the incredible detail. Like, look at the ring that goes around this piece right here. There's actually a little detail molded in there that a person's probably never going to see. They went to a lot of work to put extra detail in this kit. Now this piece and this piece are supposed to come together with this hole lined up, and I just couldn't get it, and I thought, man, what am I going to do here? So what I've done is I found a drill bit that was the exact size of the hole, and that helps to get the hole lined up, and then hopefully I can get the rest of the part lined up. There, I believe it's together. I think. Yeah. Now if I remove, there, see? Oh, I should be able to glue it just like that. Then I'll insert this little piece later. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, I don't want to be putting on so much here that it's going to run down and glue together my tweezers. Okay. I think that'll work. See what happens if I try to let it go now. Yeah, staying together. Maybe I could put a little bit of glue right there. Glue that part together. Now, just ever so little. You know what? Maybe I better not try to squeeze that. Yeah. Let's just do a dry run now. Make sure that this little piece is going to fit in that slot. Oh yeah. Maybe I'll just leave it in there and let some extra thin kind of wick its way in from the side, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Perfect fit. Okay, I realize the manual's upside down for you. Put a little bit on this side here, and a little bit on this side here. Uh-oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. I'm pretty sure it's going to wick its way in. Yeah, looks like it's in there. Okay, now I have to somehow be able to pick this little piece up. If I can get underneath it. Okay, so, oh no. Well, I think I saw where it went. Okay, I've swung the camera around. This is not a reenactment. That's where it ended up. It's about, 18 inches away. So I've just licked the end of my finger here, and I'm going to pick it up like this. Okay, we're back the way we was. And right now, my tweezer is being held together by a clothespin. And what I did was I held a little piece between my finger and my thumb, and then I sort of, more by feel than anything, got the tweezer around it, as you see. Now, the idea is we're supposed to get this in here Now, yeah, I think that might work. I'm gonna have to do this off camera. Sorry, guys. Okay, I actually had it once, and then it fell out. Anyway, this is supposed to go in here, and it's supposed to, rock back and forth, and the gun is supposed to get mounted on top of it. The idea is so that you can elevate the gun. However, I'm just wondering if maybe what I should do is just glue the gun on top of this part, which is supposed to do anyway, and then maybe just sort of machine everything accordingly so it will slip in there, and then glue it in place. I know that's not the way it's supposed to go. I think in what they intend is that you can actually move the gun up and down, but come on. Okay, I've turned everything around so I can use my right hand on the tweezers. I think I might be a little less shaky. Now, my thought was to put a little bit of extra thin on there, but I think what's going to happen is it's going to stick. It's going to stick to the applicator. So I'm just going to put it on the bottom here. Okay, now, very carefully, just place it on top there. Now, is that straight? Okay, no poking. About 3 minutes has passed now, and I'm thinking that maybe what I should do is wait to make sure that the glue has completely evaporated out of that joint, and then try and trim down the flanges here, whatever these things are, so that it will fit in here. Maybe we'll leave this till tomorrow. I know you can't see my clock, but it is getting on this afternoon. And this is a pretty lengthy video already. And once again, I'm starting to be poking at stuff. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. And we'll see if we can get these parts together.